going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent. Thanks for joining me for another Top 10. What's today's topic? You guys know, you already clicked on the title. That's right, guys, Top 10 multiplayer mobile games. And I know there's a ton of mobile games out there, and there's also a ton of really bad games. And then when we go into the multiplayer aspect, it's just a bunch of clones upon clones, and which is the real ones, which is the good ones. Is a popular game just because it's popular doesn't make it good? Is a multiplayer that's really good that's not popular? Should I even play it because nobody's playing it? Like, there's a lot of questions, guys, and there's just a whole lot of games to sift through, but I've done that. All of these games I've played myself, either on their PC versions, their variants, or on mobile devices themselves. And I just have a lot of fun with these games, and I continuously do play these games, and I see myself continuing to play them for probably quite a little bit until like a sequel comes out of these, or maybe some clone comes out of the woodwork, but I don't think so, man. These games are super original. I just don't see them dying anytime soon. They have good player bases, and basically, guys, I just looked at a bunch of different factors, and I think they're good to go, okay? Just trust me, okay? You know me. You guys know me, and if you don't, well, you should subscribe and get to know me. But anyways, let's get into the list. Let's start out with our number 10 here. This game is called Adventure Quest 3D. And I know a lot of you guys maybe are face palming, but I think you probably just didn't give it a shot, okay? So Adventure Quest is a long-standing series of games that tend to be really comical, really extremely cartoon, and they apparently seem very childish in nature. They're extremely cheesy and corny, and yeah, okay, like, I understand. So get into this game, okay, and then play it. Just try it, guys, and just talk to people. That's really what the game is, okay? It's a very, very social, and yes, I'm gonna say childish and maybe child-friendly game, but it's very comic bookish, okay? It's very comical, it's very funny, okay? If you actually look into this quest dialogue and you play with these people, there's a lot of social interaction, a lot of social dynamic events that the developers play with their player base. It's a lot of fun when you actually jump in here and consistently play. Come on, every week, every month, you have these new quests, you have these new events that are constantly spawning, and you're just doing a bunch of new fun stuff. And yeah, I guess at face value, the game isn't physically as enticing as something else like maybe World of Warcraft on PC, but you know, considering it's a mobile game that's also cross-platform, that's mainly focusing on the social aspect, on just having fun and being silly, not taking itself too seriously, this is the best in the genre, absolutely. Next game is Summoner's War. I've only just recently jumped into this. I did my first impression on Free MMO Station like yesterday, but I think I can already see the top-notch quality and the reasonings why it is so freaking popular. Now, there are a lot of games out there that are somewhat trying to clone this game or trying to just kind of get into the space, you know, the whole party capture, like, you know, classic RPG multiplayer thing going on. I don't even know how to describe it, dude. Summoner's War is just kind of special. I guess a lot of people consider a lot of mobile games as its own, you know, genre. It's like, oh, that's a mobile game. But the truth is Summoner's War is actually a game, okay? A lot of games have a huge amount of automatic features, and while Summoner's War, you can unlock autoplay features that's really only for grinding, Summoner's War has a huge amount of strategy and tactics built in, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's as in-depth as a classical Final Fantasy RPG or something like that, but when you add into the collecting aspects, you can kind of see like the Pokemon kind of mixed with Final Fantasy, but then put into a multiplayer universe. And yeah, there is single-player campaigns and stuff, and you gotta collect it, but a lot of the fun of this game is going to these events, doing these events, these meta events, joining up in guilds and everything, doing these events, collecting time to release monsters and summons and stuff, and then also you can go into the arena and beat other people and show off who has the better team. It's a bunch of just collecting and number crunching and stuff like that. So I think people who play Pokemon are really gonna enjoy it. But it also does have some usual RPG turn-based mechanics like in Final Fantasy or something. And plus, the overall production value is so much higher than any competitor. So check it out, guys. The screenshots don't do it justice. It plays phenomenally. You guys should really play it. Okay, next game is Pokemon Go. I actually was kind of debating if I wanted to put this on the list, but yeah, Pokemon Go is still a really solid concept, okay? I don't think it's ever going to be a bad idea. Its execution is not bad either, it's just not super duper amazing. Now, the content that's coming out with Pokemon Go seems to be kind of staggered. Now, I think maybe we're going to be getting the Season 2 here pretty soon, so we're going to get, you know, Generation 2 Pokemon, maybe Generation 3 at a more expedited rate, but from launch until now, there really hasn't been too much new content. So, really been staggered, and it's been kind of tragic, I think, the rise and fall of Pokemon Go. But the truth is that it's still massively popular. You can still have a good amount of fun with Pokemon Go. It's kind of a good excuse just to get out in the world, maybe talk to a few people. It's not the phenomenon that it was before, but it can always resurge with new updates. It always has that potential. It will always have that potential Now, there are some other games coming on the horizon that's like a, like a Magic or Harry Potter-ish Go kind of game. And there's a couple other Go games, coming out there. But I think Pokemon Go is still the one true Go game that has the most potential, even though it's kind of somewhat flopped. But then again, this is a flop that still has millions and millions of players, right? So absolutely, it's never too late to get into Pokemon Go. Though, I mean, the best time to plant a tree is yesterday. So get out there and try to catch some Pokemon now while you can, because you never know. It could fail. It could just continue to drop from here. Okay, here's a game that you guys in the comments, I've done a couple of top 10s, especially in the IO games list and the browser game list. You guys have constantly said Splix.io. Now, I had played Splix, and it's a pretty cool browser game. I just think there's some other games that maybe were better and more suited toward the PC audience that I put those games on those top 10s list. But honestly, Splix.io is freaking fantastic on mobile devices. So yeah, you can get it on mobile devices. Now, honestly, in this spot, I could have probably put any IO game, but I think Splix is the one that really deserves my attention personally, okay, because it is a really awesome game. It has a lot of skill factor into it. I had fun even just watching some streams of it, watching some montages. Like, there is some skill, there is some strategy and tactic to the game, absolutely. It just works with the control scheme of mobile devices. I think it's just perfect. It's fast, it's furious, it's intuitive as hell. You just jump in, you Splix, man. You just Splix.io, and it works, okay? And plus, I probably maybe could have put it on some other top 10s. Finally, it's deserving a spot on this one. Okay, next game, we have Albion Online. Now, I'm getting a little bit tired of putting this on top 10s, because I think it's showing my bias too much, okay? I am just really hype about this game. Now, maybe it's undeserving because the game has its launch date extended once again, guys. So it's going to take like a whole year before this game is actually fully released. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it went from being free to play to buy to play, and then like just keep extending the date, and they just keep changing the game over and over again. I think when it does launch, it's going to be a fantastic game, but it's just like, man, dude, I'm getting worn out. I can't keep putting it on top 10 lists. But even in its current state, dude, it's still not a bad game. It could maybe potentially not be a great game when it launches, but it will never ever be a bad game. So there's at least that. For an MMO of this caliber, even on PC, it's freaking cool, man. It's like Ultima Online-ish kind of full loop PvP. I mean, sure, it doesn't have the characteristic quests of RuneScape, but for a PvP game, especially one that's also works so well on mobile, there just isn't anything like it. So hell yeah, slapping Albion Online on the list. And now we have Clash of Clans. Yep, this game was going to be on the list. You guys knew it was going to be on the list. Now, there's actually some games that I really like that's in the same genre, which is going to be like Dominations. Now, some people really like Game of War or similar games that really kind of copy the aesthetic of Clash of Clans, but not the actual gameplay. You see, the difference between other MMO strategy games and Clash of Clans or Boom Beach or Dominations is that there's actual mechanics, okay? It's not just pay to win, it's not just attrition. You have to actually place your units, depending, you have to choose which kind of units, where to place them, when to place them. You also create defenses, so it's like tower defense, tower offense, but set in sort of like an MMO-ish kind of space. And this is really special. This makes Clash of Clans truly, in my opinion, the best of the best in its genre, because everything else just really fails from the mechanical standpoint, okay? Like Game of War, there just is no mechanics, okay? It's just attrition. Whoever has the bigger, better army, and that's pretty much it. There's no true creativity, there's no true character, and Clash of Clans has that. So every single time, until a game really trumps it, I will put Clash of Clans. And next up, for MOBA category, I have Vainglory. Absolutely. Now, there are actually a few MOBA games that are pretty not bad. Okay, they're pretty not bad. Some of them are bad. But there's a lot that are actually pretty decent on mobile devices, but Vainglory is legitimately able to compete with PC games. They actually have tournaments, they have pretty big streams, and just the mechanics overall really kind of reminds me of something mixed between League of Legends and Dawngate, if you remember that game. It's got a huge amount of character. It's got a huge amount of color, and it's truly mechanical, okay? Like, you are going to be tappity-tapping all over the screen, and these characters have a lot of skill shots, there's a lot of agility, there's just a whole lot of ferocity coming out of this light MOBA game. And absolutely, I've done a couple of top 10s talking about MOBA games, I've slapped Vainglory on there. And of course, in mobile games, Vainglory is, in my opinion, the best mobile MOBA. And if you were to compete it with some other MOBA on the market, I would probably put it in my top 5 personal favorites. Abso-freaking-lutely. Vainglory is sweet, guys. It is good. And next game, we have Clash Royale. Clash Royale is a lane offense and defense game. It plays in real time, which is spectacular. Okay, there's not many on this list even that do real-time actual gameplay, PvP and competitive even. So Clash Royale is a deck building game where you build decks, you actually select different cards, and then you summon those units in real time as they go down up lanes, or you summon towers to defend different lanes and different areas. And it's just a tremendous amount of fun. Okay, now I know some people have some complaints about how the matchmaking is really unfair because you can go against people who have just overall stronger cards because they've played longer or have spent money on the game. But in the end, it is still a game that is unmatched on the mobile platform and even on PC. Now, there are some games coming out like Legion TD that's coming out, but Clash Royale still, for now, is just the number one and probably for all time. It's just going to be the biggest and best because, dude, from the makers of Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, the marketing, it's just too big. It's got too big of a scene. It's not stopping. In fact, Clash Royale is the game where I had the most viewers at one time. I had like 320 viewers on Twitch, which is pretty big for me. I'm a new guy when I was streaming. So Clash Royale is still pretty hype and will be for a while. And the next game is extremely new. I actually just played it today, but holy crap, it just burst its way on this list. The game is called Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. Now, it's kind of reminiscent of a game like Scrolls. Do you guys remember Scrolls? It never really truly released. It's probably Mojang. There's also a couple of games on mobile devices that are, it's tactical card games, but they work in lanes, not exactly playing boards. So this is that kind of style. It kind of is reminiscent of Clash Royale because it has the lane thing and it definitely has cards. But it's more similar to something like, it's like Hearthstone mixed with Clash Royale. So you do have lanes, but it's more like Scrolls kind of, and it's not like monsters really move up and down the lanes. So it's really its own unique blend. Plus you have to consider that it's completely asymmetrical. So you can choose different heroes, but then you have different factions. You have the plants, and then you have the zombies. And this is a PvP game, guys, by the way, which it does have a campaign, which is freaking awesome. Little cool things that you can do to learn the game. A little campaign. That's always great. I love campaigns in games like this, especially mobile games. But Plants vs. Zombies Heroes is PvP. So one player chooses zombie, the other player chooses plants. And then from there, you can choose the different heroes in that faction. And it plays completely asymmetrical. Like zombies get 2 turns during a turn phase, or they have 2 phases during a turn, and then the plants have only 1 turn because they go second, because going second is an advantage, because the turns actually happen simultaneously. It's kind of complicated, guys, but then you place different plants in different rows, which is really reminiscent of the original game, tower defense, and then you shoot down the lanes and you do the damages. And it's just got a bunch of really crazy mechanics that in the end really reminds me of just Plants vs. Zombies mixed with Hearthstone, basically. And boom, there you go, Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. It really is a truly unique game that I think you guys should give it a shot right now. Even though I didn't really explain it that well, because honestly, the tutorial took like 20 minutes. It's actually a lot more in-depth than the light art style would really, lean towards. And number 1, guys, it's gotta be Hearthstone, okay? It's gotta be. As much as I am a fan of games like Vainglory and Albion Online, really pushing the boundaries of what a mobile game could do, the truth is that when people play mobile games, they're looking for a particular type of enjoyment. They spend a certain amount of time on it. They want to do certain things. It can't be too distracting, but at the same time, it should be engaging. Blah, blah, blah. There's just so many reasons why somebody would want to play a mobile game, especially a multiplayer online game. And Hearthstone just checks off all those and does it spectacularly. Okay, you guys know what Hearthstone is. It's one of the biggest, best card games out there on PC or otherwise, but as a mobile game, it is truly fantastic. It can be run on pretty much any device. It looks and plays great on tablets. It's fantastic, iOS, Android. It's gonna work, okay? You pick up your device, it's gonna work, and it's gonna play well, and you're gonna be able to be competitive. If you're fine with the grind. Yeah, it is an extremely grindy game, but then at the same time, it's got a huge amount of cards. There's a lot of customization. And in card games and in mobile games, we're constantly picking up and dropping it. Hearthstone matches are just long enough, and at the same time, the deck building is just deep enough that it's really filling every niche that because it's customization, right? It's customizable. You can do what you want to do and play the way you want to play, even with the single-player content, which is truly challenging, and at the same time, you can go at your own pace. So, all in all, it checks everything off. Hearthstone just kind of has to be number 1. You know what I'm saying, guys? So that's it. That's the list, guys. Adventure Quest 3D, Summoner's War, Pokemon Go, Splix.io, Albion Online, Clash of Clans, Vainglory, Clash Royale, Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, and Hearthstone are going to be my top 10 best multiplayer mobile games for right now. Okay, there are some games that are coming out on the horizon that we will see. I'm thinking, Final Fantasy XI being released for mobile is going to be pretty hype. But for now, these are the games that are, in my opinion, the best. They tend to be the most popular games in their respective genres. And overall, I think anybody could probably find at least one game on this list that it's going to be a new true love, okay, for at least mobile multiplayer gaming. I know it's kind of a weird niche, but the truth is that more and more games are coming out. People have better cellular, service, or they play on Wi-Fi, and mobile games are becoming bigger, they're becoming better, and more accessible, and so more people are going to be playing these and playing them more seriously. Like I said, Vainglory and Hearthstone, they have official tournaments, man. Money being dished out. So pretty hyped there, guys. And in the end, I just want you guys to have fun, okay? It's still my personal opinion, but I do want you guys to have fun. So keep that in mind, guys. Hey, my name's Sky Short. If you want to like and subscribe for more top 10s and, try to learn and discover new games, that's what we're all about here. Join the family, friends. All right, guys. Truly, hope you have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.